but
Okay.
I really want to be in San Marino. Um, it's tough to, I don't know, maybe I need to meet these agents in person or something.
Yeah.
But
So I mean, my call to a realtor, it's going to go fast. So I'm going to make 10 of these phone calls in probably 10 minutes. And let's say you're a realtor, right? And you're the one who's got the listing and I don't. So I'd give you a call and it'd be ring ring, and you'd pick up the phone.
okay, hello.
Hey, Robert. So my name's Jonathan Zabraki. I'm a realtor in the area. And gosh, I saw that you got this house listed on 123 Avenida Florencia, and I'd love to do an open house for you this Saturday from noon to 2. Is that okay?
No.
Awesome. Okay, see ya. Thanks, Robert. And
Yeah.
that took 31 seconds. And then I'd call Brian. And I'd be like, ring, ring, hey, Brian. And Brian would pick up the phone.
Hello?
Hey, Brian. So my name's Jonathan. I'm a realtor in the area just like you. And I saw that you got this house listed on 552 Verde Valde. I'd love to do an open house this Saturday from noon to 2. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. All right. Thanks a lot. I'll make it happen. You know, is the home vacant? Are there people living there? Okay, cool. All right. See you. Bye. And I mean, so basically, Robert, it'll take you probably 8 to 9 phone calls to get an open house.
Okay.
It shouldn't take longer. Is it taking you longer than that?
It has.
Okay.
This weekend I'm showing like 3 or 4 homes on Saturday. So I don't have an open house scheduled this weekend. I was just gonna try to stick to my client there, but yeah, I like what I'm hearing. I'll definitely try to step it up and do more open houses.
Yeah, I would say this, Robert. I would say just you got to turn that volume knob up, right? So if your volume knob is a 0 to 100, um, I don't know, you're probably operating, let's say, at a 35, and let's just double that to a 70. And so it's like for me, when I'm working with buyers, I'll usually take 4 different sets of buyers out on a typical day. So I might, if I'm showing like 8 houses to 4 different buyers in a day, I'm going to be able to see 4 homes an hour, and I'm going to start at maybe 8:30 in the morning, and with that buyer, I'll end at 10:30. And then the next one, I'd start at 11 a.m. and I'd end at 1. The next one, I'd start at 1:30, I'd end at 3:30. The next one, I'd do 4 to 6. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so it's like if I'm working with one set of buyer, that's only from 8:30 till 10:30. I got the rest of the day to still do my 2 open houses and that kind of thing. But if I'm a realtor that's got absolutely nothing going on, I gotta be doing 2 open houses a weekend at minimum. Minimum, minimum, minimum. Because I got nothing else going on, right? That's granted. I don't have a lot of money to spend on marketing. If I got $10,000 a month budget, oh my gosh, I'm sending out postcards, right? But this is where I don't have a marketing budget. So I'm doing 2 open houses a weekend, and I'm doing it on other realtors' listings, and I'm doing it by simply picking up the phone and calling those realtors with that same dialogue I just used. And so why don't you role play it back to me, Robert, where you're the realtor who doesn't have the listing. You're wanting to do an open house on my listing on 123 Bluebird Street. So why don't you give me a call and try it?
Ring, ring.
Hey, it's Jonathan.
He's had a walkover.
Hi, Jonathan. This is Bob Mendez. I saw that you got a listing over there on 123 Bluebird Way, and I'm with Keller Williams, and I would love to do an open house in that area if you wouldn't mind me doing so.
Awesome. So try mimicking it the exact way I do. I'll try it again, okay?
Okay.
So I'll give you a call, and just always think quicker, shorter, faster, right?
Okay.
So if you have a piece of paper, I jot down clear, direct, and firm. And so I'm going to give you a call, and I'll be like, hey, Robert. Oh, no, I haven't called yet. So it'd be ring, ring.
This is Robert.
Robert, hey, my name's Jonathan Zabraki. I am a realtor just like you, and I'd like to do an open house on your listing Saturday from noon to 2, the house that's on Val Verde. Can I do that?
Sure.
Awesome. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, you're a lot quicker and to the point than I am. So.
Yeah, so it's like I don't say what company I'm with. I just say, hey, I'm a realtor just like you. I'd like to do an open house for you on this day at this time. So I said from noon to 2. Is that okay? Right? So you want to try it again and call me?
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hey, it's Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan. My name is Robert. I am a realtor just like you, and I see you got a listing over here on Valverde Lane, and I'd like to do an open house this Saturday from 12 to 2. Would that be okay with you?
Awesome. Virtual high five, Robert.
All right.
Kick butt. That's it. And if you do that phone call 10 times, which is going to take you, I mean, it's not even going to take you 10 minutes, right? You do
Yeah.
that phone call, you're going to get a realtor who's going to say, yeah, of course you could do that open for me. You're probably going to get 9 realtors who are kind of jerks, and they're going to hang up the phone, or they're just going to be jerks. But that's okay, right? It's like some will, some won't, so what? Someone's waiting in a very kind way. But it's because you're getting good success by having opens doing the way I do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're doing like what, 1 open house a month?
I'm aiming for 2 a month, but yeah, I've done 2 the last 4 weeks, so yeah, somewhat on track, but I need to do two a week, like you're saying.
Yeah, turn that volume knob up.
Yeah.
Because from those 2 open houses you've done, using my dialogue and system, if those people turn into business who you've gotten from it, what would that equate to you?
Transactions.
Yeah, but like what kind of dollar figure, what kind of gross commission income would you earn just from those 2 open houses that you did, from the people coming through?
I don't know, 30 to 40,000.
It's 30 to 40,000 bucks. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's from 2 open houses. So like if you turn the volume knob up, and even probably for a bunch of us listening, if we made 30 to 40,000 in commission from doing 2 open houses a month, it'd probably be a pretty good gig, right? But if we wanted to get even more results, just turn that volume knob up, and instead of doing 2 open houses a weekend or a month, do 4. And it's like this. So I just went to the bank today, and I got $5,000 worth of cash, right? Because I'm going to send it out to one of my coaching clients. And actually, I'll probably pick up a total of $20,000. $20,000 of cash I'm going to be sending out to one of my coaching clients. And it's like this, Robert. If you were one of my coaching clients and I sent you $20,000, you'd probably be like, that's crazy. Good, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you, well, what you just told me is that just from those 2 opens, you got 30 to 40,000, which is way more than this. Right? But it's like it. Sometimes what happens is we I don't even know the phrase for it, but we're short-sighted instead of long-term sighted. Does that make sense? We do a lot of short-term thinking instead of long-term thinking and long-term actions. And really, it's the signature system I have is truly a blueprint to ultimately do 4 things for you. It's to help you make more money, to help you work less, to help you have less stress, and lastly, just to enjoy life more. And if that's what you're looking for, awesome. We just got to put it into action, right? Because information for information's sake is kind of futile, right? It's like, gosh, we gotta learn the right system. Then we just got to do it and rock with it. So awesome, yay! I'm glad you're putting this stuff into action, Robert. Just got to turn that volume up a bit, right?
Right.
Awesome. What else? What else could I answer for you or for anybody else on the call for that matter? If you got a question, just fire away.
I have one.
Yeah.
So, Jonathan, we in the Silicon Valley area, we have a different sign ordinance in every single city. And in the city of Los Gatos, you're not allowed to put up a sign that has a phone number or a name on it anywhere in the city. So what you've got is you've just got arrows pointing all over the place. It could be anybody's open house. So is there some way to, I don't know if it's get around, but alternatively market an area like that?
Okay, so is it that you have a current listing in there and you want to market it, or you just want to get listings in there?
Lucky listers. I'm a buyer's agent. So I don't have any problem getting open houses on the weekend because I'm pretty forceful in that because I recognize that's my bread and butter. But in the city of Los Gatos, which I'm getting more and more open houses in, it feels like such a waste of time to be putting up all these arrows all over the place that don't actually do anything for my brand.
Awesome. Okay, so Robert, I don't know if you remember, because Robert, you were at the 3-day event like 2 months ago. Do you remember how many open house signs I put up when I do an open house?
2 to 3.
2 to 3.
Yeah, we put up tons of them.
Yeah, so I'd say this. So I pay a guy some pretty good money to coach me, and I don't talk to him that often, but many times when I do talk to him, I'll tell him kind of my problem or issue, and then he'll think about it and he'll say, "Gosh, it's coming to me. It's coming to me. It's coming to me. Yeah, you should probably stop doing that." So that would be the same advice I would give you. Is there just put up 2 to 3 signs.
Be done.
Yeah, put up 2 to 3, and instead I'd do my open house dialogue the way I do it in here, which is, gosh, what page is it? Do you remember, Robert? It's probably page like 81 or 71.
I don't remember.
Okay, page 60. So this is part of my guide to your success. This thing, I wrote this thing like 12 years ago, and I've been a realtor for 14 years now. And my first year I did 10 million in sales. My second year was 14. The third year was 27 million. That was in Minnesota where nobody knew me from Adam. Right. And then 7 years ago I moved to San Diego, ran my company remotely, and then probably 4 years ago I woke up. I said, I should do real estate in San Diego. Did maybe 20 million that year. Last year I think I did 29.2 million. And I probably work about 20 to 25 hours a week, give or take, plus or minus. And then I do real estate coaching and training as well because I just love it. I love seeing realtors go from where they are to where they really can be very quickly. And so I guess, well, first off, I want to get to the open house stuff. But if you have not attended one of my 3-day events in San Diego, like sign up and attend. I know I have one coming up in October. I don't know the dates offhand, but if you click on the website profitsandpassions.com, both of those are plural, profitsandpassions.com, sign up for it. I think like right now it's still ridiculously cheap, it's like under $1,000. and I have a guarantee. I say, come to this event, and if you don't walk away with a really clear picture of how you can add 300,000 of income within 12 months, you just let me know, and I refund you back what you paid. So anyway, yeah, sign up for that. It's limited to 30 people. Last one was full. The one in September that I'm doing, that's full. October will sell out as well. And I know the price is going up. Price will probably go up to either 2,000 or 3,000. But right now it is like under $1,000. And then with that, what's really cool is we get on 4 bonus calls before the event, so that you can start getting a result, before you even attend. So going back though, if it's okay if I help you, Deborah, I would follow this dialogue, and this is the manual that you get to the moment you sign up for the 3-day event. I mail this to you via email. But what I do is I start my dialogue with this. So somebody walks in, I say, hey, welcome to your new home. And people kind of either joke or they get kind of serious or whatnot. And, well, if it's okay, Deborah, is it okay if I role play with you? Like, you be the one walking in the house and I'll do what I do?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you walk in the house, and I kind of greet you at the door, and I put my hand out, I wear a big smile, and I say, hey, welcome to your new home.
Hi, I'm Deborah.
Oh, hey, Deborah, I'm Jonathan. Oh, my gosh, what brings you in today?
Well, we just moved to the area, and we're very serious about finding someplace, but we don't really know our way around very well.
Awesome. Well, good for you. I'm glad you came in today. Hey, out of all the houses that you've seen either today or this week, how does this one stand out to you so far?
Well, I like 2 of the houses that I've seen. This is one of them. I just haven't had a chance to look at the neighborhood to see if I want to live here.
Gotcha. Well, cool. Well, hey, take a look around the house, and I'll just be hanging out by the kitchen table, and take a look, and I'll talk to you in probably 2-4 minutes and answer any questions that you have.
Great, thanks. I'll check back in with you before I leave.
Cool. And then so you kind of do your thing, and maybe you walk upstairs or walk to that side of the house, and usually after about 2 to 4 minutes, then I kind of find you, Deborah, and in a good way, and I just go, so hey, Deborah, so what do you think?
So I do 4 open houses a week, or a month rather.
Oh, but I'm still role playing with you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So I find you, and then I go, hey, so Deborah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I just want to look around the neighborhood and see if the things that I really want here are here. So I know the school district's great, but I really want to look at whether or not there's good shopping nearby, what the access is to the highway, things like that. So, I'm not really ready to make a decision, but I'm going to have to pretty soon.
Nice. And then what I'll do is I'm going to quickly flip to page 57 in my guide to your success. I'm going to ask you about 5 to 7 different questions.
Right.
And one of them, I'll say, hey, Deborah, so recently my real estate group, or recently I was able to help somebody out just like you, if that's true. And for me, that's definitely true. And so, oh my gosh, Deborah, I was recently to help out somebody just like you. I guess I know you got a lot of choices, right? Like in San Diego, there's 21,603 realtors. Or if I lived in San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose area, I would say there's probably 62,000 plus realtors. But I'd know that number to the number. And I would say, well, hey, Deborah, there's 62,111 realtors in the San Jose, Oakland, San Francisco area. So you've got a lot of choices. I also know this. I best help my clients by, and then I'm going to go over my 3 promises, the 3 things I do for you, and then really the 3 performance guarantees that I have. And I'll quickly go over them with you. But so if I'm role playing with you, I'd say, hey, so my 3 promises are I'm going to be on time, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, and I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. And if I ever do not do that, and now I'm living in Los Gatos, where average house price is what, $1.5 million?
2.4.
2.4. So I'm gonna, instead, usually I bring out $100 and I say I owe you $100. I'm just gonna bring out my $5,000. So I'm just gonna say, hey, if I am ever late for any appointment, Deborah, I owe you $5,000. And if I ever taint the truth in any way, Deborah, I owe you $5,000. And if I ever say that I'm gonna, do whatever and I don't do whatever, I owe you $5,000. Because to me, those promises, that's the lifeblood of my business. And then what I'm going to also do with you, I'm going to consult with you, make sure you make an awesome decision for you. I'm going to negotiate for you. I'm going to treat your money like it's my money. And then third, I'm going to handle all the details for you. And oh my gosh, in Los Gatos or in Anchorage, Alaska or wherever, there's like close to 400 steps. And I'm going to make sure that I don't let you down. Like, I'm going to get the job done for you, and I'm not going to let you down. And then let me tell you about my 3 performance guarantees. And then I go ... And I'll briefly go over them, but I hand them a piece of paper. One of them is I guarantee you, no matter what house we buy, I'll save you XYZ dollars. And if not, then I owe you XYZ dollars, right? So for me, I do, hey, I'll save you $10,000 at minimum off the list price. If that doesn't happen, I write you a check for $2,400 at closing. If I was back in Minnesota, I would say, hey, I'm going to guarantee I'll save you $5,000 off the list price. And if not, I owe you $1,100 at closing. If I'm in like some area of Pennsylvania where the homes are $100,000, I'll say, hey, I'm going to save you $2,500 off of any house out there, and if not, I owe you $400, right? Yeah. And then number 2, I guarantee you that this will be the best buying experience you've ever had. So I don't care if you bought cars, coats, trips to Tahiti, multiple houses. This will be the #1 buying experience you've ever had. And if that isn't the case, you just let me know, and at closing, I owe you 3 Apple iWatches or $1,000, whatever you prefer. And then the 3rd performance guarantee that I do is you can cancel working with me, Deborah, at any time for any reason. Sound fair enough?
That sounds great.
Awesome. So let's do this. This open house ends at 3 o'clock. Why don't I meet you at the local Starbucks? It's at the corner of blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And we'll talk, and we'll find out if this is the right neighborhood for you.
Yeah, I'd really like to do that. I think that's a great idea.
Awesome. Cool. I'll see you at 3:15, or whatever the time is I just said. And then we'd meet at 3:15, and away we go. So is that maybe different than how you're currently doing opens?
Oh, you know what? I've been selling computer software for 35 years. I can do that with my eyes shut, but I cannot close a fucking open house. And that's the problem, is that I feel like I'm Vanna White when I'm in the open house, and I'm not getting any appointments. So there's a disconnect somewhere, you know, and that's what I have to work on.
Well, use that dialogue that I just used, and you'll get massively different results. And really, what that is, it's really about doing like 4 things. It's being very raw. It's being very real. It's being very relevant. And it's really focused on them getting the result they want. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Totally.
And so what I picked up on was that, hey, you're concerned about the neighborhood. So that's why I'm like, hey, let's meet at Starbucks and let's see if this is the right neighborhood for you.
Right.
And
that's a good approach.
yeah, yeah, and it's so when I go into an open house, just so you know, this is what I wear. Like, this is my fancy uniform. I wear a short sleeve shirt, and sometimes I wear shorts and my flip flops. Other times I'll dress up and I'll wear like dress pants and some black shoes.
Yeah, I've been giving a lot of thought to that because we don't do that here. And
Yeah,
I think we're kind of too overdressed in my company.
100%. Oh my gosh, I've been there, done that. I used to be the realtor that would, wear the three-piece suit and the tie and all that.
Yeah.
And what I quickly learned is that, like, people aren't, people don't want that anymore.
No, they don't want it anymore. And I'll tell you what's happening up here is guys wear jeans to work and they wear them on the weekends and whatever. And if they're going out, they'll throw a suit jacket over their jeans, right? So I thought about that and I thought, I'm in a skirt, I'm in a dress, I'm in all that stuff. It's time to knock that off and maybe start wearing really nice jeans and a top on the weekend.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Sometimes, believe it or not, Deborah, I don't have my favorite. This is one of my hats, but I'm kind of a hat guy. And so sometimes I'll be at my $1 million listing and I'll have my hat on.
Yeah, I see that all the time too.
Yeah. So it is about being just very real. It's being very relevant, and it's all about giving them the result. Does that make sense? And so
absolutely.
It's like, hey, here's my 3 promises, and if I'm ever late, I owe you $100.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes to somebody who's white collar. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I think it actually speaks to everybody on the weekend.
Yeah.
I think it takes it down a notch. It makes it a little less stiff and difficult to talk to each other.
Exactly, Deborah. Oh my gosh, you got to sign up for the 3-day event.
Yeah, I think I do.
It would change your world.
Good. That would be a nice world to change right at the moment, and I'd feel more comfortable with the concept because you know what? There's no reason at all why I should not be making millions of dollars at this, and I'm not. So I'm needing some help on this. So this has been helpful.
Well, go to profitsandpassions.com. Click on that link. I always limit the events to 30 people. And the reason,
that is fabulous, actually.
Yeah. Well, the reason I do is because, well, first off, I'm a realtor first, and then I'm a real estate coach, mentor, whatever you want to call it, second. And so I'm not a great public speaker, which is awesome because I'm just telling you how I went from 0 to $371 million in residential sales in a 14-year time period. And it's all relevant, it's all real, it's all results-based, and it's really very, very simple. Usually most of what I teach realtors to do is like, okay, we're gonna eliminate 80% of what you're doing and instead replace it with these other items, right?
Yeah.
Just like Robert earlier. Oh my gosh. So, I mean, get this. Like, Robert came to my event, 2 months ago, and he's doing 2 open houses a month. And if those people convert that have been to those 2 opens, he said he's going to make $30,000 to $40,000 in commission. And I'm like, that's awesome, but really be doing 2 open houses a weekend, and now you'd be at whatever that is, $120,000 to $160,000.
Yeah, yeah. See, but I do 2 a weekend, and I don't close anything now. So I've just got to get it down because I have no problem selling myself to the other agent. For me, that's just a piece of cake. But I'm having a hard time converting my open houses to me.
Well, I would come to the 3-day event, and that will be solved.
All right.
In the meantime, I'd probably dumb it down. Does that make sense? It's
Yes. Yes.
yeah, I mean, I went to college. I went to Wheaton College, great college. I was a pretty decent student. Um, but when I interact with people, I gotta dumb it down. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's
Um,
something I'm going to have to work on.
yeah, yeah. Um, awesome. Somebody else had a question that popped up and then it went away. I think someone was asking how many open house signs do I put out? I do 2 to 3. Someone is asking how long do I do an open? I do it for 2 hours. So, for instance, I try and do 2 open houses a weekend myself, and I usually do it on Saturdays, and I usually do Saturday noon to 2, and then I do it from like 3 to 5. And if some people show up, awesome. If nobody shows up, then I get to read my book, and you know. Um, See, most of the people stopping by claim they're already working with an agent. How do you address that and convert them? Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's part of my guide to your success, and I would say it's probably, well, it starts on page 1, and this is page 1. The world is set up for you to succeed. Now we kind of just got to get out of our own way. So what I mean by that is, okay, Alex, was that you that asked that question?
Yes, it was.
It was, okay, awesome. So do you mind role playing with me? Like, I'll be the realtor, and you tell me that, hey, you're working with somebody.
Sure.
Okay. So I kind of went over what I went over with Deborah, and I'm like, hey, let's meet at the Starbucks, and da-da-da. And then basically say no to me or tell me you're working with a realtor.
Okay.
So da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, with an open house or with a phone call?
Either way. So we'll stick with the open house. So I mean, I've said, hey, these are my 3 promises. These are 3 things I'm going to do for you. Here's my guarantees. Let's meet at the Starbucks at 2:15, and we'll talk and see if this is a great neighborhood for you.
Yeah, we already have an agent with Windermere.
Awesome. Well, what in the world are you doing here?
We just like to go around and look at the houses on the weekend without an agent, and then we'll tell them what we liked and what we didn't like.
Why would you want to do that?
I don't know, just it's probably easier without him.
Okay.
Just go at our own pace.
Gotcha. Well, it sounds like you might need a new realtor, but that's my opinion.
No,
I mean,
that's all right. That's how we prefer it.
Okay. Well, I mean, what I do for my clients is I actually take care of everything for them. So it's kind of like when I fly to St. John, my favorite island in the Caribbean, I don't like mess with what the pilot does. I just let him do his thing, or her. I just let her do her thing, right? I just sit in the plane and let it happen. So if you're looking for a VIP experience, oh my gosh, I'd love to give that to you. But yeah, I mean, gosh, if you're truly looking to buy a house, going through open houses or calling on internet, whatever, is probably not the best way to do it. But hey, it's America. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. But when you say you're working with a realtor, have you signed a piece of paper that says, Alex will work with this realtor exclusively, and ... It's usually like a 2 to 4 page form.
Yeah, like a buyer's agreement. Like a buyer's agreement? No, we didn't sign it.
Okay. Oh, so you haven't filled one out yet. Okay. So now I'm going to keep talking to you. If you're like, hey, I filled one of those out, then I would say, hey, hands off. I wish you the best. If you change your mind, let me know. But I'm telling you, Alex, 99 out of 100 people who say they're working with a realtor end up choosing me. because 99 out of 100 have not signed a piece of paper. And when I tell them, hey, I'm going to guarantee you this amount of money,
Mhm.
it's pretty tough. Does that make sense?
Do you ask him to sign a buyer's agreement?
No.
No.
No, because it's one of my 3 performance guarantees. I tell them, hey, you can cancel working with me at any time for any reason. And it's the same with the seller. So I might invest $8,000, $6,000, $12,000 into listing somebody's house. But I tell them, hey, if you want to fire me an hour from now, just call me, text me, email me, and fire me. And there's no cost to it. There's no obligation. Which again is really, really different than most realtors. Does that make sense?
Um, it
'Cause,
does. I think it's probably, I would do the same as well as a realtor.
you have them sign something.
Not for the buyer's agreement, no. On the listing, yes, but I mean, if they wanted to fire me, then obviously that's not a good fit, and even having a listing agreement, I'll just cancel it.
Gotcha. But what I'm saying is most realtors don't verbalize that.
I see.
Does that make sense? So it's like people love going to Target because they know, hey, I got 90 days to return whatever. Target makes it really clear this is what we do. Most realtors don't make really clear what they do.
Mhm.
Which is why I'm just telling you, realtors rank right up there with used car salespeople. Does that make sense?
I hope not. I hope it's a little bit higher than that.
I'm just telling you what the public says.
Really? Okay.
So the public is saying you got attorneys. Well, I'll even preface it more. You got divorce attorneys, you got used car salespeople, you got lenders, and you got realtors. Because last I checked, and the public knows this, we had a housing correction, right? Like what, 6, 7 years ago?
Right.
Who caused that housing correction?
Mortgage people.
Mortgage and realtors and appraisers.
Right.
I mean, that's the perception of the public. I'm not, I wish that wasn't true, but so that's why all of my dialogue is about how I am not a traditional realtor. I'm a professional real estate consultant. So if somebody goes, hey, we're already working with a realtor, awesome. Have you ever worked with a professional real estate consultant? And they generally are like, no, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
And then I can describe that to them. But yeah, Alex, oh my gosh, if you have not signed up for the 3-day event, sign up. Go to profitsandpassions.com. It'll change your world. It's less than $1,000 to attend, and I guarantee it's a 300 to 1 return on your investment, meaning you come to all 3 days, and if after 3 days you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot see myself making an additional $300,000 of income within 12 months by using this new signature system, you just let me know, and I refund you back 100% of what you paid, and we part as friends. Awesome. Anybody else got any questions on anything real estate related or even that 3-day event?
On your open houses, do you bring flyers or make flyers for the people or no?
Great question. Yes and no. If I'm doing an open house on a listing that's not mine, no. If I'm doing a listing on mine, yeah, I'll show you an example. So here's an example of a house. So this one was a 1.8 or $1.7 million house. And it's a bunch of photos. It's 12 pages in length. Let me get you a cheaper house. Let's see. This is about a $700,000 property. And same thing, a bunch of photos, right? I listed a $400,000 condo or townhome this year. Same thing, 12-page brochure, It doesn't change. So I tell people what I do marketing is the same if you got a $22 million home or if you got a $200,000 home. It's the same. And some people are like, it's the same, you can't do that. And I'm like, well, you work for Apple Computer, right? And they go, yeah, I work with Apple Computer. And I say, cool. Well, if you're selling this iPhone 6 to me, or if you're selling it to Brad Pitt, is it different or is it the same?
Same.
Huh? It's the same, right? I mean, so like, yeah. The key is to give people a phenomenal VIP experience, no matter if they're buying 200 or they're buying 10 million. Does that make sense? Well, it should make sense. If it doesn't, we'll have to talk on a different call. But yeah, awesome. What else? What other questions?
Well, one question I typed, but it wasn't addressed, is, and this is Alex again.
Yeah.
Usually on the open house, it's either nobody or there's usually a lot of people coming in at the same time. So it looks like you do have a long conversation with each and every one of them. So if there's, let's say, 3 or 4 at the same time, obviously you can only address one group of people. So do you just let the other 2 or 3 slip by and leave, or what do you do?
100%. Yep. But what's crazy, Alex, is sometime I should hire a video crew to come on in, and then I should ask everybody coming in, hey, is it okay if like I record this? But what'll happen is, I'm telling you, when I got my $5,000 sitting on the countertop, and I'm telling people my 3 promises, the 3 things I do for them, the 3 performance guarantees, I have people waiting for me. Does that make sense? So Deborah and I are talking, and then I say, great, well, let's meet at Starbucks at 2:15, because my open house ends at 2, and we'll see if this is a great fit for you, or maybe we need. And then, lo and behold, it's like a little bit of a line, and now Alex is standing there. And I go, hey, Alex, and then I do the same thing over. What do you think of the house? Cool. Hey, I know there's a lot of choices out here in San Diego. There's 21,603 realtors. I also know I best help my clients buy, ... So hey, do you wanna meet Alex? I'm meeting with Deborah at 2:15, but I could meet with you at the Starbucks at 3 o'clock. How does that work for you?
Mm-hmm.
And Alex either says yes or no, and if he says no, I go, cool, have a great day. And if Alex says yes, I go, cool. And then I got my 3 o'clock set up. And then, lo and behold, I got Chris behind, and I go, hey Chris, or if I forgot Chris's name already, I'd be like, hey, so my name's Jonathan, and you are, and he'd say Chris, and I go, so Chris, and then I go through the same stuff, and I go, hey, so I'm meeting Deborah at 2:15, I'm meeting Alex at 3, but I could meet you at the Starbucks at 3:45. How does that work for you, Chris? And Chris will either say yes or no, and does that make sense?
So they stick around, you just talk to them one by one, right? And then if they leave, then they leave.
If they leave, they leave. Yep. Yeah, so I give people my 100% undivided attention. Does that make sense?
Sure.
And I think most realtors don't do that. They're trying to do this, that, whatever. Like, they're just like, right now, I got a bunch of stuff I need to do. Like, I got some termite report stuff to deal with. I got a buyer offer I got to do. I got a couple offers that came in on one of my listings. I got to prepare for my 3-day event I'm doing in 5 days from now. But right now is okay, this 60 minutes is just all about you guys. Does that make sense?
Of course.
So I'm not checking my cell phone. I'm not checking email. I'm not checking. The world could be burning, and it's like, that's cool. Right now, I'm 100% focused on you guys, and that's how you need to be when someone's coming into that open house, where it's just like, awesome. I'm 100% focused on Alex or Deborah or whoever it is that's coming into the open until they say no, thank you, and then it's just like, cool. Have a great day. And the only thing that I want to accomplish at an open house is only one thing. And it's the only one thing I want to accomplish with any lead. It's to meet. It's to have an initial consultation. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So I don't have people sign in. I don't have people give me their phone number. I don't have people give me their email address, because like, I don't want to follow up with Deborah. Does that make sense? If Deborah says, hey, why don't you follow up with me? I'd be like, well, why don't we just meet in person and find out if you should buy a home or not?
And again, so you make no flyers at all if it's not your listing, right?
Yeah, none. None. It's a waste of time. You know, it's even like this flyer. It's like, I don't need to do it. What I need to do is have the right signature system, and I need to have the right dialogue. Does that make sense? That's the key. Having the right dialogue is like having, here's my debit card, you know, or whatever you call it, cash card that you put in the cash account. Having this card does somebody no good unless they have my PIN number. If they have my PIN number, now you can withdraw till your heart's content. Does that make sense? And so doing an open house, yeah, you got to do it, but you got to have the PIN number. You got to, like, what do you say? When do you say it? How do you say it? Otherwise, it's just spinning wheels, which is what the 3-day event is all about. Like, stop spinning wheels. And I don't know any other real estate coach, trainer, broker, whatever you want to call it, that says, hey, it's a 300-to-1 return on investment. Meaning you invest $1,000, which is what the price is right now, but it will be going up to $2,000 to $3,000, which will still be, I mean, if it's at $3,000, it's still a 300-to-1 guarantee. It's pretty good. But yeah, because I know this stuff works. It works for me in Minnesota. It works for me now in San Diego, and it works for hundreds of realtors around America. It's never not yet worked in anybody's market. Awesome. What other questions do you guys have? I'm running out of Diet Mountain Dew, which is kind of sad. Carol, any questions you got? Or Chris, Mark, Nicole?
Jonathan, I just wanted to mention that I went out and talked with about 4 or 5 builders yesterday, and you know, some of them were very receptive, and some were not receptive at all. And but actually, the first guy that I spoke with, I talked to him, and he said, "Well, yeah, I've only had like 1 or 2 in the last year that kind of fell through." And then he thinks for a minute, and he goes, "Right, hey, I've got somebody that is actually just wrote a contract 4 days ago, and they have a house right down the street that they need to sell first." I said, "Oh, awesome, okay." And so he actually followed up for me. I had asked him if we could both get on the phone or whatever. He said, "Well, let me just talk to him first." I said, "Okay." And so he called me back today, and it turns out that the buyer has actually already listed the home with one of his neighbors or whatever. But you know, hey, that was I spent about an hour and a half. I dropped in on 4 or 5 different builders, and you know, I got could have gotten a decent lead out of it. So just an interesting aside.
Isn't that amazing? Is this Mark Schneider?
Yes, it is.
All right, awesome, Mark. So I'm looking forward to meeting you next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you as well.
So beautiful. So, oh my gosh, isn't that amazing? So that took you like, what, probably 3 hours, and you came little close, like, to getting an actual great transaction.
Right.
But now that builder rep, from now until eternity, knows that, oh my gosh, when somebody does walk in, instead of just letting them use whomever, that builder rep can be like, you got to use Mark.
I actually thought that I would kind of go use the same kind of once-a-month routine with those people and just go in and, maybe take them in a couple of donuts or something, or and just touch base with them and ask them how it's going and just kind of build up relationships that way.
100%. Yes. Yes,
Very cool.
yes, yes. Oh my gosh, Mark, you're gonna crush this. Like, what is today? Today is like September 7th, 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, September 7th, 2017. If you desire, I think you could probably be at 500,000 gross commission income.
That seems like a fantasy right now, but hey, I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've helped people go from, well, oh my gosh, Kay. I love Kay to death. Kay, last year, she made like $3,000 of total income. I think this year she's at maybe 120,000, which for her is like she won the lottery.
Right.
And then I've worked with an 18-year-old. I've worked with a 19-year-old. Not much experience, as you can imagine. And both of them within a couple of months, like we're talking 2.5 months, made a little over $35,000 each.
Nice.
So yeah, it's about putting the stuff into action. It's getting focused on the right stuff, which is like leads, but not just any lead. Like really focus on a premium lead. Focus on really converting that person into an initial consultation. And then if they choose to use you, just deliver a very VIP or a Disneyland experience.
Sure.
And yeah, awesome. Well,
Sounds good, man.
Yeah. Kudos to you for signing up, Mark.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to meeting you guys, all of you, I guess, next Tuesday.
Yeah. How about anybody else got any last questions for me? Because then I got to wrap it up in about 4 to 6 minutes. So yeah, if you got any questions, I'll wrap it up with this. I would say for most of us, if we truly want to break through and get to a different level, this is critical. Change is necessary. And what kind of change do we need to make? We need to focus on DMA, I call it, which is difference making actions. Because I think there's a lot of realtors out there that are working hard, but they're really not working that smart. And they're just kind of spinning their wheels. And it's like, oh, stop the madness, right? Stop spinning your wheels. Take advantage of what I'm offering you. Take advantage of this 3-day event where I unpack exactly how I went from zero to now over $371 million in residential real estate sales. Hey, Yukito, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Nice. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. So.
Did I miss out a whole bunch? I just saw your email. I did.
Well,
okay.
I'll send you the replay.
Great. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Great. Awesome.
So and Yukiko, I'm meeting next week, so that's awesome. Kudos to you for signing up for that 3-day event.
Thank you.
I'm
very excited too. I can't wait. Every day I'm saying, is tomorrow 13th? Is
awesome.
it 13th yet?
it's coming. So it's that event is sold out. I am doing another one now in October. And so I would recommend, if you have not signed up, sign up for this October one. You can do it by going to profitsandpassions.com. Just real quick, we focus on creating once and for all an ELF business, which is easy, lucrative, and fun. And guarantee that you will walk away from that 3-day event with a very clear picture of how you can add an additional $300,000 of income to you within 12 months. If that's not happening for you, you just let me know and I refund you 100% of what you paid. We part as friends. I guess I'll end on this. I'm a realtor just like you guys. I have buyers and sellers that I work with on a weekly basis. I do open houses, and I'm just really excited to share with you exactly the great things that have happened in my world, and I'll share with you the stuff I've wasted time and money on, so you don't have to waste your time and money on those things, because in real estate there's a lot of things that we can waste both of those commodities on. And yeah, sign up, profitsandpassions.com. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your Wednesday.